Hello, my name is Ian Chiquino, and today isn't going to be so much a commentary. What I'm going to do is cover a strategy that I saw Hyperdub do here. He posted 3 or 4 replays, and I'm just going to, doing the same strat in every replay, I'm just going to go over this strategy in depth um, on several different maps. This is a Terran vs Protoss map. Terran vs Protoss build order. I did see him do it against a Zerg or two, but I think it's extremely more effective against Protoss. And I'm just going to cover, the build order, the little small details that you probably might have noticed if you'd watch one of these replays. But in watching all 4, hopefully you'll come away with a really powerful TvP strategy. And for all those Protoss players out there, I'm going to show some of the weaknesses of the strategy as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So of course we're on Metalopolis right now. Now this strategy is based around a fast Banshee with cloak and transitioning into Marines. That's basically the basic one sentence description of this strategy. And whenever you're going Banshees first, of course you're going to go harass. And on maps like this, especially in these spawning positions where it's such a short rush distance for air, it just makes the strategy even more valuable. So we can see right here he's going for the standard 10 supply depot, and then he's going to be following up with a barracks here in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward it. We're just going to cover the build real quick here. So we're going to see the supply depot, and there's my clothes are done drying. So he's going to throw down a barracks there at 12, and then quickly throw up a reactor. This is going to be a very heavy gas build, as we are going to have 2 starports mass-producing Banshees. So this is also one thing that a Protoss player can look for whenever you see a second gas be built before the factory, which is the build in this case. Let me just pause this for a second. If you're in the base scouting around, you see a second gas before the factory is built. That's usually indicative of a either a mech build or a fast air build. So just one thing to notice for if you're a Protoss player out there. So you can see here he's making some Marines. These are of course to kill the scout, and he's going to be using them for the beginning part of this build just for some basic defense against anything that Protoss player might throw at you. So he's going to run this Marine out here and kill that probe in a little bit. So you can see he built that refinery before he even started this gas, and what he's going to do is right here, is as soon as he got just enough gas to build that factory, he put it down. He wants that factory out as soon as possible. So he put that factory down, and you can see he's only at 17 food. So he throws down that factory, and he's going to saturate this gas as soon as possible. He's a little busy with that. He's probably going to do that right now. There he goes, finally saturating it. So now he's in a pretty safe position for a while. And here's a key point, is whenever you're only going to have 4 or 5 Marines for defense until you have Banshees, you definitely need a bunker. So this bunker is very critical. I saw a replay where he didn't get a bunker, and it was he had a lot more problems than any other game where I saw him, whenever he actually did get the bunker. So it's probably just a mistake in that one replay that he made. So what you're going to do is, as soon as you get your factory finish, you're going to build the starport. Now, of course, whenever you're going to go Banshees, you want the tech lab as soon as possible. So with your factory, build a tech lab on there, and then you're going to do the little swapperoo. So we'll get back into this. And of course, just keep constantly supplying, building SCVs and building supply depots. So what he likes to do here, I've seen this in a couple other of his replays, is he likes to build the factory, build the tech lab for the starport, so he can quickly start researching cloak and Banshees. And then he uses his factory just to scout with, because this factory has 1 base armor and 1,250 life, so it can take a lot of damage. And the key point for the scouting is you get to get a look at their base, you see what kind of units they're building, and most importantly, in my idea, is that you can see if they have any form of detection. If they're getting a robo, or if they have a forge down that will allow them to place some quick photon cannons. That's all extremely important when you're scouting the space. Those are probably the two most important things, is, you know, see what units are making and see if they have any way to detect your Banshees. Because if they don't, you can extremely crush their economy. So here we go. The first thing he does is he spends his first gas. At this point, you'll have enough gas to make a Banshee, and you'll have enough money to make Cloak at the same time. But if for some reason you don't, you're late on your second gas or whatever, research Cloak first, and then research your Banshee. Because Cloak does take longer to finish than your Banshee does. So we'll get back in this game. So he's continually making some SCVs here, and whenever he gets enough gas, after he makes this Banshee and he starts researching Cloak, the next 150 minerals he gets, he will spend on a starport. This is where you will continually make more SCVs, and he ran in here and scout, and he sees a bunch of Stalkers. So Stalkers, of course, are a great counter to Banshees. And where he's building his second starport, and he's going to be adding a tech lab to that instantly. So you're just going to want to, as soon as you build your starport and you put a tech lab down, you can go ahead and start making your second Banshee. So he's got his Banshee over here in position because he's just waiting for this Cloak to finish. As soon as this Cloak finishes, he's going to be able to run in here and kill quite a few probes and really hurt this economy. So I'm going to slow this down here for a second. And at the same time, he has a lot of extra minerals, so he's building 2 barracks and adding a tech lab. This I'll talk to you here in a second. So we're going to see this Banshee come in here, and you don't have to use Cloak unless you're getting attacked. You know, just save it. You know, that's basic instinct. So you see here, he's just going to town, killing some probes. Toss is trying to do a good job of pulling him away, but he's already got 7 kills. So he's going to get up to 8 and 9 kills. And then as soon as that observer comes out, as soon as you start getting shot, you can assume there's an observer, of course, and you run away. So, you know, you think, oh, he's got an observer and Stalkers, I need to quit making Banshees, but actually keep making Banshees. It'll work out fine. So let me get over here back to these Marines. So what he's doing is he added this tech lab for the STEM, because STEM Marines are amazing. And then he's just going to continually pump Marines out of these 3 barracks until he reaches a critical food supply. So let's check the economy, see how much damage he did there. So right now he's got a 3 harvester lead, and which is pretty big considering this guy has an expansion out. So Toss was clearly going for some kind of defensive economical build here, playing defense and just building up a huge economy. But he did a lot of damage there with that Banshee, killing 9 probes. So that was a definite victory right there. Among low-level players, if you do this, some people might just go ahead and quit after, you know, that type of rush. Some people are just like, screw it, and then leave. You may get lucky with that, but if they don't, if they stick around, I'll show you part 2 of this 1-2 punch. Let's get back to the game. So we're just continually making Banshees. We already have Cloak finished, and of course repair your Banshee if you can save it. That's definitely worthwhile, because these Banshees are so expensive. Let me get a drink of water here. So at this point of the game, you can go ahead and salvage that bunker. You already have more than enough Marines and Banshees to fight off anything that he has seen over here at this point. So go ahead and salvage that bunker and build some more Marines. So the second timing attack here is whenever the Marines finish and Stim Pack is finished. Not when the Marines finish, but whenever Stim Pack is finished and you have a large amount of Marines and starports. So you can see he's really saturated right here, and he's just continually making SCVs, because even though he's saturated, he will still use these SCVs, not for an expansion, but for something else. So let me speed this up a little bit here. He's just going to build some units. He's just making a lot of Banshees. He's got 5 Banshees out now, and he's making a Viking and another Banshee. So you think over here, you want to look back here at his base, and you think, well, what is he making, you know, a Viking for? He doesn't have any air units except for an observer. You know, why waste money on a Viking? But we'll get to that in a second. You see how critical that Viking is. So he's just making a couple Marauders out of this barracks, because of course, you know, Marauders do very well against Stalkers, and he knows for a fact that he is going pure Stalkers. So here we go. We have it. Here we have the he's pulling out. He's got 86 food, and he's got quite a few Marines, almost a full control group of Marines, and a couple Marauders, and one Viking with another Viking here to come, and one more Banshee on the way. So he's got a pretty big force. As far as army-wise goes, he's definitely in the lead with 86 to 68. Also considering Blue has a a 9 food lead with Harvesters, so Blue has a very small army. He wanted to go for an economic build, and this completely destroys that. So let's get back here to the game. He's just going to push out, and here are the SCVs he's bringing along. There's all those extra SCVs he was making. So he's still saturated, but he pulls off, 6 or so for to provide either a meat shield. I've seen him use the SCVs as a meat shield, or just to mass repair Banshees in the back. So he's pushing out with his entire army right now, and this is the part where it gets pretty important. This is a critical point. So the first thing you want to do is you want to, just group up your whole army, stick them together, make sure these SCVs are on repair. That's definitely important. That way you won't have to micro them too much later. They'll just stay in the back because of the long range of Banshees. They'll stay in the back behind the Marines and Marauders. So right now you can see, if you're playing as, Hyperdub here, you see, okay, he's already starting to attack my Banshees. What does that mean? And I'm cloaked. That means, of course, he has to have an observer, because if he doesn't have an observer, then he can't be attacking me. So there is an observer there. And that's where these Vikings play a key role. We'll see that right here. So he knows he's getting attacked, so what's he do? He scans. He scans because he knows there's an observer there. There has to be an observer there. So he scans. The scan covers a huge area, which will easily cover where an observer is. And then these two Vikings, their only job is to kill observers. So observers are extremely weak. You can see here they have 60 total life, including shields. And a Viking does 20 damage per total rounds of attack. So it does 10, but it attacks twice, so it does 20 damage. And with 2 Banshees, you can basically 2-round an observer. So it takes 3 full rounds of attacks from a single Banshee. So you can easily kill this within the lifespan of a scan. So you'll see right here, he scans. The Banshees have nothing else to attack because there's no other air units. So the Vikings just, only thing they have to attack is the observer. So the scan goes down, they auto-target the observer. You don't have to worry about using your Marines to finding the observer, run up to it and killing it. While that's a possibility, this is definitely easier, I think. So here we go. We have that Viking go down and kill that Banshee. And while Blue is a little bit out of position here, that really isn't important. But Blue is out of position. He didn't have his entire army. But even if he did, he would still be up against 5-6 Banshees with Cloak, and he has no observers at this point. So these massive amount of Marines are just stimming, running up. He's even pulling probes to try and kill some stuff, but it's not working out for him. So there we have it. That is that game right there. And I am going to open up our next replay.